Good evening, everyone. This is Unit 2 of IAL Chemistry from January 2015. In this session, I'll discuss MCQs. So, which of the following are properties of liquid 1-bromobutane? Solubility in water, because the water contains hydrogen bond, and in 1-bromobutane we have dipole-dipole forces. To be soluble, they should have same type of forces. It cannot form a hydrogen bond with water. That's why it cannot be soluble. But what about stream diverted? That depends on whether a molecule is polar or no, as it is bromobutane, 1-bromobutane. So this 1-bromobutane, you can see the carbon chain is there, hydrogen and bromine, so partial positive and negative. So it will have dipoles, permanent dipole. That's why the stream will divert when a charged rod is placed in a near the stream of liquid. So it should be insoluble because it does not have hydrogen bond, and it should divert because its molecules are polar due to polar bond between bromine and butane. The strongest intermolecular forces in liquid ammonia, a hydrogen bond exists when hydrogen form a bond with more electronegative elements such as hydrogen bonded with fluorine, oxygen or nitrogen, and they should be a lone pair. So in case of ammonia, NH3, there is a lone pair and hydrogen bonded with nitrogen. That's why the strongest bond will be hydrogen bond. The graph below shows the boiling temperatures of group 5 hydrides. So first, because NH3 will have hydrogen bond and hydrogen bond is stronger than dipole, induced dipole force. That's why NH3 will have a higher boiling point as compared to pH3. But why pH3 is having a higher boiling point than ASH3? Because they have dipole induced dipole force, and dipole induced dipole force increases as the number of the electron increase. That's why A will be the right answer. The equation for the reaction of chlorine with water is shown. This reaction is an example of, so what is the example? So as we write the oxidation number, chlorine is 0. Here chlorine -1, oxygen -2, hydrogen +1, so chlorine should be +1. So chlorine 0 change to -1 reduce, and 0 change to +1 oxidize. So this one is option C, which is disproportionation reaction. The oxidation number of a chlorine in HClO3. So what will be the oxidation number? Because the overall compound does not have any charge, so each oxygen is -1, so 3 oxygen will be -6. Hydrogen is +1, so chlorine should be +5. C will be the right answer. The following equilibrium was established with all 3 substances present. What would be the effect of increasing the pressure? Increase in pressure shift the equilibrium towards side where number of moles are less. Number of moles of a gas. So we have 1 mole of a gas here in the reactant side and 0 mole of a gas. So when we increase pressure, equilibrium will shift towards right hand side. So as the equilibrium will shift towards right hand side, it will be increase in amount of yellow solid. Which of the following isomers has the lowest boiling point? So boiling point is directly proportional to number of the carbon, and the boiling point is inversely proportional to number of branches. More branches, less surface area, so boiling point decreases. So the one which is having, this is having 2 branches, this is a straight chain and 2 branches, no branch, this is only 1 branch, and this is also only 1 branch. So which is having the lowest boiling point? A, because it is having 2 branches. As the number of the branches increase, the surface area in contact between the molecule decrease. That's why the boiling point will also decrease. Which of the following compounds has the highest boiling temperature? So when you check cyclopentane, it will have London dispersion force or dipole induced dipole force, which are weaker. Pentane also, it will have dipole induced dipole force, which is also a weak force. Butane 1-ol will have hydrogen bond because of OH, and dipole induced dipole as well as dipole dipole force. And ethane 1,2-diol, two hydrogen bonds are there, so stronger hydrogen bonding. That's why this will have the highest boiling point. The following industrial process produce ethanol. What is atom economy by mass fermentation? Use a periodic table as a source of data. So atom economy for preparation of ethanol by fermentation. So carbon is 12 multiplied by 2, because mass of desired product divided by total mass of a reactant or product into 100, plus hydrogen is 1 multiplied by 6, plus oxygen is 16 times 1, and the total 2 are there, so that's why multiplied by 2, divide by total mass of a reactant or product. So 6 multiplied by 12 plus 1 multiplied by 12 plus 6 multiplied by 16, and then into 100. So this will be about 51.1% atom economy by mass. From a greener chemistry perspective, which of the following is an advantage of hydration of ethene compared to that of fermentation? So if you are doing hydration, what is the advantage? A catalyst is less corrosive. No, that's not the thing. A higher temperature is needed. That's not the advantage. Ethene is renewable source. That's not a renewable source. Ethanol is easier to purify, because this is only giving you ethanol, so you can easily purify, so you don't have to carry out a purification technique. So this will make less use of energy comparatively for separation. That's why D is the right answer. Which of the following does not damage the ozone? So the bonds which cannot be broken by UV, that is carbon and fluorine bond. This contain carbon chlorine. CCl bond can be broken by UV, or oxides of nitrogen, it can produce a free radical. Carbon monoxide, these all can cause depletion of ozone, but this CF4, which contain carbon and fluorine bond, cannot be broken by UV, so it will not damage the ozone layer. Microwave energy can only be used to heat reaction involving polar reactant. Which of the following reaction cannot be heated? So C5H12, that's alkane, and bonds are non-polar, and overall molecule is non-polar, so this cannot be heated. But if this is OH is there, iodine is there, so bonds are polar, molecule is also polar, so we can heat them. But A, because the molecule is non-polar, so we cannot heat by using microwave. In the mechanism of addition of bromine to alkene, the bromide ion attacked on carbon cation. So we have an alkene. First, a bromine molecule is there. This will be partial positive, partial negative, and it will form a bond, which this will result in a formation of carbon cation. So when bromide ion, the question is, when bromide ion is attacking on this carbon cation, what we call this bromide ion, because it is attacking on the positive center, so it's a nucleophile, the bromide ion. They're not asking for bromine molecule in the first stage. Relative greenhouse factor of a gas, compare the greenhouse effect of a molecule to the molecule of carbon dioxide. So percentage by volume and relative greenhouse factor. So question is, use only the data in the table, select the gas that has the greatest greenhouse effect in the atmosphere. So you can clearly see from the table that it is 25,000, relative greenhouse factor is 25,000 for CCl4F2, That's why it will have greater effect on global warming and climate change. In question 13, in a contact process production of sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide is oxidized to sulfur trioxide. A high yield is obtained, 2 atm, 700 Kelvin, 1:1 sulfur dioxide to oxygen, and a catalyst, vanadium pentoxide. In comparison with the condition given above, which of the following would shift the equilibrium to the right hand side? So lowering the pressure, because if we increase the pressure, equilibrium will shift towards right hand side, but if we lower the pressure, equilibrium will shift towards where number of moles are more. So it cannot be A. Increase the temperature, the forward reaction is exothermic, so increase in temperature shift the equilibrium towards left hand side. Increase the access of oxygen, if you use more oxygen, more reactant, so equilibrium will shift towards right hand side. Use more finally divided catalyst, it will speed up both forward and backward reaction but does not affect the position of equilibrium. Question 14, diamond, Buckminster fullerene and graphite are all forms of carbon. A significant difference between the Buckminster fullerene and the other form is only Buckminster fullerene has a good has a precise molecular formula like C60 is there. It has a fixed number of carbon atom, but for graphite and diamond it does not have fixed number of carbon atoms. Iodine thiosulfate titration is carried out thiosulfate solution and burette and iodine in a conical flask. If an indicator is not used, we normally use starch as an indicator. For this, if we do not use indicator, so iodine, when it is low in concentration, it will be light yellow, and no iodine, it will be turned colorless. So iodine molecule will be pale yellow and turned into colorless. If it was indicator was there, then it will be from blue black to colorless. Which of the following is not true for hydrogen halide, HCl, HBr and HI? Form white smoke when they come in contact with ammonia. That's true because it will form ammonium chloride, ammonium bromide. That will be right. Dissolve in water to form strong acid. That's also true. And are usually prepared by reaction of sulfuric acid with sodium halide. Hydrogen halide and hydrogen bromide cannot be used. This method cannot be used to prepare them practically because bromidine and iodine are good reducing agents, so they will reduce the sulfur to lower oxidation state and produce steamy fumes in moist air. That's true. What is observed when a mixture of bromoethane and aqueous silver nitrate? So it will form silver bromide, and silver bromide is cream precipitate, which dissolve in concentrated ammonia solution. Question 18. Sulfur can combine with fluorine to form number of different compounds, some of which are shown below. From a diagram, which compound will not be polar? So for a compound not to be polar, because here bond angle, they already all are identical, so that basically they cancel out the effect of each other, so D will be a non-polar. Here they have polar bonds and there are lone pair on sulfur, but in this case sulfur does not have lone pair and all identical atoms are attached, so overall it will be a non-polar. So this was January 2015 unit 2 MCQs.